Okay, it's collection day. Let's see.
We got this one. This one's pretty cool. Let's see, this one's pretty cool. I like the pink. This one's pretty cool.
I think I got them all here.
Dog, what are you doing?
Huh? We're doing a collection video, right? The controller collection.
Keyboard collection. Not controller, keyboard collection. We're doing a keyboard collection explaining about keyboards and their different functionalities. I swear this man is in his own world. What's up, guys? It's Pinky. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing something a little different. We are not playing First Descendant and we're not playing Fortnite. We're not doing either of those. Today we are doing something a little different, and what that is going to be is we're going to be going over my little collection that I've built up of keyboards. Some of these, well, all of them are technically now custom. Some of them I haven't done much to. One of them I have fully built, fully taken apart and built. I didn't do a ton of mods to it yet, as it was my first time doing a custom build and I didn't want to screw up much stuff, but I did fully take it apart and fully rebuild it in the name of aesthetics, because I wanted it to look nice and still be a professional gaming monster of a keyboard. That was super exciting. That build is going to be at the very end of this video. We will be going over each of my keyboards that I have. I'll kind of explain a little bit of things like the switches, what that is. If you don't know what a keycap is, I'll explain that as well. We'll just kind of go over the keyboards, different sounding keyboards. Each keyboard that I have sounds different, which is crazy. Two of them are actually the same keyboard, just built differently, and they sound significantly different. It's wild. It's absolutely crazy, and I like messing with them. I like the aesthetics that you can get from different keyboards, just doing different things down to even just the keycaps. None of these are completely stock. Some of them one of them I have just changed just the keycaps, and that's it. Actually, that's a lie. I have changed the keycaps and switches on all of these except for one, but that one I changed the keycaps on still. So none of these are fully stock, but not all of them are like super modified. But either way, very cool. It interests me a lot. Let me know if it interests you guys a lot. If you want to see more collection things, I have a bunch of controllers, a bunch of mice, all kinds of stuff that I can do different collection videos on and go over things and explain things in depth and why I have so many of them. Headsets, all of that stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy this different spin on things as we get into my keyboard collection. Okay, so starting off here, we're starting with two of the same keyboard, but they have different switches. Then, of course, they're going to be different colors. This one's pretty base, just white with black keycaps. If you don't know, these here are keycaps. For those that may not know, they're basically the buttons that you actually get to press, or they're what go over the switches. That's the actual button that you will see and that you press here. Now, the switches are going to be these here. These little guys right here. Let me get one pulled out for you as well. So this little guy here is a switch. This one is a Gateron Blue. Gateron Optical Blue switch that this keyboard takes. Now, keyboards take all different kinds of switches depending on the keyboard. There's these regular mechanical switches here. There's Hall effect switches, which you see here. It's got a little nub that goes in. This is a regular mechanical switch. There are Hall effect switches, which I do have that on some of the other keyboards, so we'll get into that. They're magnetic, so a magnet is what activates them instead of pressing a pin in the actual PCB itself, which the PCB is the board under this that actually is the control center of everything. But yeah, there's these regular mechanical switches. There's the Hall effect ones. Now, each switch is going to have a different sound. These blue ones, these blue Gaterons, are going to be more clicky. Have a more click-clacky sound, so we can do a sound test here and show you what those sound like. I don't like these. They aren't my favorite because they are very loud, but if you like that loudness to them, and probably my loudest keyboard that I own. This one here is the GMK61 by HK Gaming. $50 keyboard. Start with the base. Does it show the name of it? Yeah, GMK61 V3. This one, probably the loudest keyboard I have. The blue switches, I believe those are the tactile, or No, they're not tactile. They don't give feedback. So tactile, when you push down, you would feel a bump on your finger. It would bump as you go up, as you come up and you go down. You would feel a feedback. Some people like that. I don't prefer it. Doesn't bug me a ton to feel a bump or not. Those are going to also, for the tactile switches, it's normally going to be things like brown switches. Those are going to be more loud as well, more clicky and clacky. These here are just straight up called clicky switches because they're clicky. So that's the one that we have in that. We just have a basic white and black going for this one. And this is good for a beginner 60% budget build. For most gamers, they're going to either use a 60% or they're going to use a TKL, which is 10 keys less. TKL, 10 key less. I don't have a TKL yet, but maybe in the future we'll get one. I personally game on 60% keyboards for the most part. It's kind of my preferred go-to. I haven't tried out TKL, so maybe in the future. But as far as customizability goes, and then just overall functionality, 60% has been the way for me. So this is a good budget option. Keyboard starts out at about $50. After shipping is about $60, something like that. So not too bad. It does a good job. We have another one of these keyboards, and I will show you that. It has different switches in it, and then it's a different color. So this, again, is the same keyboard. It is going to be in pink and blue. And this one, as you hear, it has a deeper sound to it. Let's go ahead and show the switch on this one. So this one has yellow switches, Gateron yellows. You hear they are not as loud or clacky. What these ones are what's called a linear switch, which a lot of times, if it's like Cherry MX, there's all different kinds of switches like I was telling you guys. A lot of times it's going to be either a silver or red switch that's going to be the fast switches. These are going to be the lightest switches to push down. So different switches have heavier springs in them. The heavier the spring, the harder it is to push the key down. So for the quickest response time, I have the lightest ones that can go on this keyboard, which is the yellows. They're also one of the fastest out of the three that they have for the fast ones, which is going to be Gateron reds, Gateron silvers, and Gateron yellows. So we'll do a quick sound test again here for you. With this one, it's a little bit deeper. For the budget option, this is my favorite one so far. Still a loud keyboard, but a deeper sound, less clack to it. And moving along to my professional keyboard. One of two. There's a surprise professional keyboard. Professional keyboard number 1, the Apex Mini Pro. If you have the budget and you want a professional keyboard, very good keyboard. We'll give you a little sound test here. So not as loud as the first two. For a gaming keyboard itself, it's not horrible. It is one of the quieter ones that I own, I would say. It is still a little clacky though. So not my favorite thing in the world, but as far as performance goes, this thing really shines. It does perform very well. There is a top competitor. I'm sure if you know anything about keyboards in the gaming community, then you know where we're going with the final keyboard. I'm saving my other 60% keyboard for the end of this video, as we're doing a slight build on it as well. It's my first time building a keyboard. Didn't fully go all out and mod it, but we did build it, and I'm really excited to show that to you guys. That's the Apex Mini Pro. It has things like rapid trigger on it. I think it has the, what's that called? It has like the snap tap feature on it. It has a bunch of software stuff that you can go into. You can make these actuation points, which basically means how far you push down on the key before it actually registers on your screen and in your computer and activates, and then how far you have to come back up before it resets the key. So basically you can push down very lightly. That right there, each one of those is going to be a key push. It's very lightly that you have to press down on it. Literally resting my hands on it like this will activate keys. I like that personally. Some people don't like it. It's too much for them, but I like to be able to have the quickest reaction times on things and the quickest actuation points. So you can set these to, I believe, up to like 4 on the actuation, or you can go down to 0.1 millimeter. I have these on 0.1 as I do my other gaming keyboard. That's a 60%. So yeah, it's going to be the Apex Mini Pro. And we're going to move on to my more aesthetic keyboard, but it's still a gaming keyboard. So this was my first custom keyboard, but When I say custom, I mean it's fully built and modded, but I did not do it. Some keyboards you can buy fully built, modded out from other manufacturers. This is a Labog High 80, or no, Labog High 75. Yeah, Labog High 75. This is a 75% keyboard. So you get your function row here, your escape buttons up here. You get a little volume knob. And this one is nice because if you want, it's got 3 different modes. It's got Bluetooth, then it's got the dongle, and then it's got the wired. I personally go with wired. It's nothing that I'm going to be doing Bluetooth-wise with this or wirelessly. So I just keep it wired, as that gives you the best response times and things, is having it wired. This one, as far as sound goes, is my absolute favorite. It is freaking ASMR. Let me tell you, just... absolute favorite. Other thing with this was my first aluminum keyboard. So we'll take one of the other ones here. As you see, this one is a plastic keyboard. This is full-blown metal. So this keyboard is heavier. Now what that helps with is the actual sound. Basically, the more hollow the keyboard is, the more the sound is going to, reverb out of the case itself and make it more loud and clacky. So this is super loud and clacky. That is due to the switches and the fact that it is a hollow plastic case. This one, due to the switches, the keycaps can make a slight difference as well. But also inside of here, there is foam padding. I believe there's a layer under the actual keys itself, and then at the very bottom, there's another layer. So that helps with the sound dampening. The more padding you have in there, the more it helps with the sound dampening. And then with it being a heavy aluminum case, that also helps with not having a bunch of sound bouncing around and coming back out. So this one here, probably my favorite custom build that I did. And all these have custom keycaps on them. This is probably my favorite custom so far that I've done. As far as competitive gaming goes, this is not the move. But when it comes to just chill, laid back gaming, this is probably my go-to. You can competitive game on this. I did for a while. I think I showed that on my TikTok. But overall, there's just the Apex Pro Mini and the other keyboard I will show you next. It's just, it blows it out of the water as far as performance goes. So this is for fun, cozy games and for single player games and for things that I don't have to be super competitive with. All right. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this different spin, different kind of content, a different video. Hopefully you guys got some decent information out of this if you're looking to get into keyboards. And if you're wanting to see, if you want a budget keyboard, if you want kind of a mid-tier keyboard, or if you want one of those high-end gamer keyboards, hopefully this video helped out just a little bit. Hopefully it also helped out to kind of show you just the ease of things. It's not, once you get into fully building a keyboard, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but a couple of YouTube videos, and let me tell you, you can do it yourself. Don't pay somebody else to do it. You can do it yourself. I did it myself. It was a little bit of a struggle at first, but and that's why I did not film the entire build process, because it did take me about 2 or 3 hours to build that Wooting. But it was fun. I figured it out. I would like to figure out some more mods on how to do things. The actual original foam padding for the Wooting did not fit in the bottom of the new case. So I had to use the foam padding that came with that case, which makes the case a little bit more hollow. And if it wasn't as hollow, there would be more of a deep thocking sound to that Wooting, which I kind of want. I want kind of more a deep thock, creamy sound to it. But with it being a gaming keyboard, it honestly just, it doesn't sound bad. It's probably the second best sounding keyboard that I have. That Labog is my favorite. That High 75 is my favorite as far as sounds go. But the Wooting, probably my second favorite sounding keyboard. And with it being a high performance gaming keyboard, top notch. If I had an overall pick right now, between software, the sound, the customizability, the fact that this is a professional gaming keyboard, and you can't tell because it's in an aluminum case now. So it's heavy, it's an aluminum case, it sounds great. It's got the new keycaps on it, the new switches in it. You cannot tell this is a Wooting at all. But it is. It's a high quality gaming keyboard, and that really excites me. So hands down right now, probably my favorite is going to be the Wooting as far as customizability goes. The fact that the performance with the customizability, so performance to aesthetic, the sound, like I said, it's the second best out of all my keyboards that I own. So mashing everything together, I'd have to say right now Wooting is in the lead for all the keyboards that I have tried and that I have used. It is the top dog. If you guys have any suggestions on keyboards that I should try out, or maybe what your favorite keyboard is, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to thank you guys so much for your continued love and support, for continuing to share the channel content and help the channel grow, for leaving likes on every video and dropping comments in the comment section down below of things you're enjoying, things you want to see more of, and things you haven't quite seen yet. And until next time, I'm Pinky Dayton, and I'm out of here.